What's going on, everybody? We are back with another weekly recruiting show. Got my co-host Ross bringing out another elite lineup for the class of 2023. Remember, guys, 2022 is done. Now we're off to the class of 2023. And Ross, why don't you introduce our very talented guest who is actually coming from Tallahassee, Florida himself?
Yeah, we got a guy from enemy territory stepping in here. He was actually recently offered by the Canes here, just very recently. He's a superb athlete from James Rickards High School in Tallahassee. This is Keon Brown.
Keon, what's going on, my man? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it.
How y'all doing?
Good, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. Keon, I got to ask, you're out in Tallahassee. Did you grow up a Florida State Seminoles fan?
Yes, sir.
So when you got offered by Miami, did you ever potentially think you'd be in a position where Miami's offering you a football scholarship?
Say it again.
Growing up in Tallahassee, did you ever think you'd be given an opportunity to get a scholarship to play at the University of Miami?
Nah, I always thought I would, you feel me? I always thought I would had a chance to play in the college, but I never thought I'd get an offer from Florida State or Miami. Oh,
Ross,
excuse me, but I'm at a candlelight right now, but
all good. All good, Keon. Ross, what makes Keon such a great athlete on the football field that stood out to you?
This is a 6'3", very athletic weapon on offense. He kind of straddles that line between a jumbo wide receiver package, but also just being a natural athlete playing the position at his size. So, I mean, he can do multiple things out there, and I can see why the staff gave him an offer. I can see it. He's a very, very good athlete.
So, Keon.
Did he drop his phone?
I think he did. So, Ross, what offers does Keon have right now?
Oh, he's back there, yeah. I mean, he's got Miami, FSU, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Tennessee, plus more.
So, Keon, where do you see yourself playing at the next level?
Hold on, let me leave from over this car. Say it again now.
Where do you see yourself playing at the next level?
Like college-wise, I don't understand. Like, I don't know which one. Like, I don't know what school I want to go to at the moment.
Do you know what position you want to play in college?
Yes, sir.
You want to be a wide receiver, or are you thinking about moving to more of like a playmaking tight end?
Wide receiver.
Okay. What's your current height and weight right now?
6'3" and 189.
Okay. What all positions do you play for your high school?
I play safety, kick return, punt return, and second screen quarterback.
Okay. What are you working on this off season? Where do you really want to improve to take your game to the next level?
My route running, my hands, they straight right now. I just gotta get them better though. But I really work on safety, on defense.
So, were you able to watch the Super Bowl yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Any players that you were looking after, throughout the game that you maybe model your game after or watch a lot of film of?
I watched Jalen Ramsey and I watched Cooper Kupp. But Jalen Ramsey had me mad when he kept getting blurred.
So were you rooting for the Rams?
Most definitely.
Are you working with any trainers this offseason to help you out?
Yes, sir.
Who are you working with?
My 7-on-7 coach, Harrison Smith.
Okay. What 7-on-7 team is that for?
Tight action.
Okay. And is there anything that you're going to focus on in the weight room, or are you just more worried about speed and route running and stuff this offseason?
I gotta work on my bench pressing and my squatting, but right now I squat 405 and I bench press 295.
Not bad.
Okay, not bad. How did this high school season go for you guys up at James Rickards?
Say that again.
How did this high school season go for you guys and James Ricards? Did you guys have a good year, or how did it go?
The school called Rickards, James S. Rickards. But
Rickards. Sorry, yeah, Rickards.
our season it went good, but we lost in the playoffs to I think it was Pine Forest, I think. But I only played 4 games and had 9 touchdowns.
You said you played 4 games and had 9 touchdowns?
Yes, sir.
Wow, man, that's impressive. That's really impressive, man. So what colleges do you got right now showing you love? Who's hitting you up the most?
All of them hit me every day.
Are the Canes hitting you up pretty often since they gave you that offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who you been talking with on the Miami staff?
I don't know the name by heart. I forgot it. But how am I supposed to say it?
Are they recruiting you on offense or defense at Miami?
Offense.
Okay. So you probably had a chance maybe to talk with Coach Field, maybe somebody like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What are your plans this off season? Are you going to visit any schools in particular?
Yes, sir. March 27th, I'm gonna be at Vanderbilt, and then I think it was March 12th. I'm supposed to be going to Coastal Carolina.
Okay, yeah, those are some very good schools. Are you planning on visiting the University of Miami anytime soon?
March 7th, I think, or March 6th. It was one of them days.
Nice.
How do you describe your game, Keon? What kind of player are you?
An athlete.
What more though? I mean, I know you're a great athlete, but what else do you offer? What do you bring to the game?
Wild card. Like when the ball get in my hand, I'm gonna score.
I noticed that on your film, man. You seem to be a big play guy. Is that just something you've always been when you're on offense, as a big play guy?
Yes, sir.
So what's going to be happening your senior year? You know, walk me through it. What are your goals? Do you have any statistical goals you want to meet?
Yes, sir. I want to average like 2 touchdowns a game.
That's a lofty goal, man. It's not a bad thing to strive for, though. That's for sure. So is there anything as far as leadership that you want to be able to offer your team as a senior next season?
It's like it don't matter. Like even if we lose games, I gotta tell my team to keep their head up, cause sometimes they be holding their head down. Even when we lose, and go to the locker room, feel me? They be getting mad and they just go and turn off each other. I tell them just to chill.
Keon, anything you want to work on this offseason in particular you want to get better at?
I want to get better at defense. I can play defense, but like my turning, like my hips, I really don't play defense.
If you could tell all the viewers watching this video later about yourself, Keon, we probably get thousands of views. What could you say about yourself?
So, what would I tell them?
Yeah, anything.
Just like it ain't even about football. Like school
Anything.
first. That's the main thing. Right now, I got a 3.2.
Nice.
Keep focusing on that, man. Keep focusing on grades, because that's what's going to be able to open the door at even more colleges. You already know.
Yes, sir.
So, Keon, this is a question that I ask every recruit we bring on here. Why do you love the game of football? Where do you get that passion and that drive to go out there and just kill it?
At first, I really didn't like football, but me and my brother started playing football when we was like 10 years old, playing with 16-year-olds, like on a travel team. And they had me at quarterback at first, and then I moved to receiver. But when my brother died, I just blew up. Like I gotta make it out of the hood. I gotta do something.
How long have you been playing wide receiver?
Since I want to say 7th grade.
Okay. So it's something that you got a little bit of experience at. You're not just jumping into it new in high school. That's good.
Yes, sir. But I never played middle school football, though. I started playing, like, for a team in, like, I want to say my 9th grade year. I was at Rick at first, and then I went to Leon, and I stayed at Leon my 9th and 10th grade year, then went back to Rick this year.
Have you played any other sports, or are you playing any other sports right now?
Yes, sir. I play basketball, and I run track.
I can see that explosion from playing basketball. It's helped keep you light on your feet and help keep you really explosive and athletic. I can see that.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you got there, Paul?
I got nothing else, man. We're excited to see Keon take off this upcoming season. We think he's a real special talent and great athlete that can play several positions at the next level.
Yeah, guys, this is a 6'3", a genuine athlete. When they make that ATH definition in the recruiting services, this is a genuine athlete, guys. And it being at his size with his length, watch out. I expect more and more offers to keep pouring in as the days go.
All right. Well, Keon, thank you so much for your time tonight. We greatly appreciate it, and we're wishing the best of luck for your career in football and academics as well.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Thank you again, Keon. Take care.
All right, no problem.
All right. That was Keon Brown out of Tallahassee, Florida. Obviously, that's Florida State territory. Ross, I mean, what offers does Keon hold right now?
He's got some offers from places like South Carolina, Tennessee, Miami, FSU, Louisville. He's actually kind of just starting to get discovered from what I can tell. He's been flying under the radar a little bit. He really has. But when you watch his film and you take into account that he's 6'3" and like 185,
yeah,
it makes that tape stand out even more. It really does.
Yeah. No, he said he did grow up a Florida State fan. He said he was pretty transparent about that. So,
I mean, hey, Tallahassee, man,
he's definitely gonna. Yep, he's gonna be having a lot of offers visiting Vanderbilt, Coastal Carolina.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. By the way, at the player's respected position, he had Miami in his top 10.
I believe so.
It was Anthony Hill, correct?
Oh, top 6. Yeah, top 6 for the number 1 linebacker in 2023 out of Texas. Yes, top 6.
Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Texas, Miami, Alabama. A couple other schools were in there. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah. And this was a guy who was offered by Diaz. So I honestly, he follows me and me and him talk occasionally, but I haven't had a chance to really sit down with Anthony and really ask him a lot of questions yet. But I know the Diaz staff was the one who offered him. So to see that there's still a relationship going with the new staff is great because, I mean, heck, he is the number 1 ranked recruit at linebacker on 24/7.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ross, our next guest, he's a local favorite out of Miami Central Senior High School. I mean, he's a legacy Miami Hurricane. He had over 20 sacks this past season. He's a household name coming out of high school, and I cannot wait to see how he plays this next upcoming season. Why don't you introduce Reuben Bain Jr. to the viewers?
This is the 4th time we have had 2023 defensive end, not defensive lineman, Reuben Bain from Miami Central. We want to make sure we're specific about that. We're talking about a defensive end.
What's going on, Reuben?
Hey, everybody. I appreciate that. No fresh.
Reuben, we love having you on, man. It's always a pleasure. I think this is the first time we've had you on with Mario Cristobal as the head coach.
Yes, and I love being on here, so there's no problem me coming on.
Yeah, man, we greatly appreciate you always coming on the scoop. I mean, Reuben, what were your first kind of, words, I guess, or reaction when they hired Mario Cristobal? Obviously, nobody knew who the head coach was going to be. There were rumors spreading, but, were you in contact with Mario previously at Oregon?
It was just a little. Couldn't really speak to him because I was underclassman. But other than that, it was like a high and buy kind of situation.
Absolutely.
So it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a little.
How's the communication been now that he's in Coral Gables? He's nearby Miami Central, a lot closer than the state of Oregon.
It's been a lot. He contact me at least every day. If not every day, the next day he's definitely gonna at least say a good morning.
Reuben, what's your current height and weight?
6'3", 252.
The last time we talked to you, you were just getting ready to play Miami Northwestern for the 2nd time. How did this season go for you guys, and how did you do statistically?
Well, statistically, I had 29 sacks, 70 tackles, and 48 and a half tackles for loss. But as a team, we all developed and got better as each week came. We progressed every week, just worked on the little things every week just to get better day in, day out. and it just really focused and working on to the bigger goal, which was a state championship. We just bought into our coaches, bought into the system that they had planned for us, and it ended up working out in the end.
What are you working on this off season, Ruben? Where do you really want to take your game to the next level? You already got a pretty complete game, but where do you want to go take your next steps at?
Be more violent, more explosiveness, and quick off the ball.
So, a couple people in the chat are stating 29 sacks. I mean, has anyone ever been able to block you this past season?
Not to sound cocky or anything, but no, really didn't find any trouble getting past anybody. Really all season, if it was St. John Bosco or Miami Northwestern, so it really didn't matter to me. I just tried to focus on and key in on my technique, and I found success.
You think you'll hit 30 this next season?
I'm gonna hit 50.
50?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard 29 sacks. Did you break a state of Florida record?
No. As the state of Florida record is set by Willie Jones Jr. is 37.
Okay.
And I broke my school's record, but that's what I'm aiming for. So I want to get 40.
Yeah, no, that would be very, very impressive. I mean, if you can break those records, that would be insane.
Ruben, what are you focusing on in the weight room this off season?
More tapping into like more strength and conditioning, the science behind it, so I could be, like I said, more explosive, more violent. Listen to Coach Fled on the junior day. I got to hear some pointers of weightlifting and everything. I can transition weightlifting to the field. So I'll just be focusing on the science of weightlifting just to be stronger and a better player.
Last time we spoke to you, you were talking about improving your flexibility. How do you feel you did that your junior season? Was that something that you felt more and more comfortable with as the season went on?
Not quite. I was a little banged up in the season, so if I'm being honest, no. But that's why we have it off season every season, so we work on what we did. So I feel like this season, definitely not doing anything. I could just really get as flexible and mobile as I want.
What were some of the big games you guys had this year that really you think helped you out as a player? Really competition, fierce competition always breeds greatness. Who were some of those teams you played against that you really felt like helped you take your game to another level?
Bishop Gorman, American Heritage, St. John Bosco, Miami Northwestern, and Miami Killian.
Ruben, are you planning on visiting any colleges throughout this off season coming up?
Yes. It's really I have a couple schools I have in mind that I've been hearing from a lot.
Gotcha. Have you been able to speak with Coach Salavea, the new D-line coach at the University of Miami?
Yes, I had a great talk with him on the junior day. Then from there we kind of like clicked, so we've been speaking since then. He's also another coach. Him, Coach Cristobal, and Coach Smith. They try to contact me as much as possible. So I've been speaking to Coach Salavea quite often.
Outstanding.
Ruben, what's your opinion on Coach Salavea? I know he's not been at Miami for very long, but what kind of relationship have you been able to build with him so far?
Good relationship, all positive vibes. But when I first seen him, I thought he was a huge dude. But he's really nice, really genuine. But I like his teaching, his coaching. He coaches to be violent, not only play violent, but practice violent, and as a starting practice. So really, I only heard positive things out of that. I only seen positive things out of that. So all my relationships and views from him is just good things.
We're very, very grateful to have your brother as a grad assistant at the University of Miami. What's that like been for him? What has he been able to tell you about that experience so far?
He always wanted to coach at Miami, so just him telling me about it is stuff we already done talked about, but also just getting to see his point of view of it, him living out his dream, doing what he loves is a good feeling for him, and being a little brother of him, I'm proud of him. So he's leading the way for me in a different way. So it's all positive things on this side.
Were you surprised that he was added to the staff? Was that a big surprise for you, or maybe you saw it coming?
I seen it coming, but it still was surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's very cool. I have a brother on a college football staff. I mean, especially he's always wanted to coach at the University of Miami. Ruben, I don't know if I've ever asked you this question. I mean, what did the University of Miami mean to you growing up? In the city of Miami and having so many of your relatives tied to the program.
Uh, it was always like I was always centered around Miami. But if I was to be honest, I never like watched Miami football a lot or kept up with it. Then when Coach Cristobal came, it was like he changed my whole opinion on Miami. So now it's like I'm steady watching Miami football, always looking up Canes football on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. So, I just feel like now it done went up 100 notches.
Man, I know I love hearing that. I know our fan base loves hearing that. That's for damn sure, Ruben. So what are you gonna, I've talked about this with other recruits before, stepping into their senior season as leaders for their team. What kind of leader do you want to be for Miami Central? Is it vocal, or do you want to just show it with your actions more?
Both, because you can't be a great leader without being vocal. But if you're vocal and not doing the right thing, people not really gonna listen to you. It's like you doing this, you saying to do this, but you're not doing it. You're not leading by example. So I just want to be the dude people could look up to, but also come to for advice, any questions on the field, off the field, whatever they got. I just want to be the person that could be there to help, like a big brother situation, or just a good friend. Because at the end of the day, we're teammates, we're brothers, so we got to bond some way.
So I got a question for you here, and it's something that I've also asked other recruits as well. We're talking about game week right now, okay? Let's say you're getting ready to face an opponent. What are the first things you like to break down on the offensive line when you're doing game film study?
First thing I look for is tendencies. How far their feet is back to tell me if it's pass or run, if their hands down, if they're light on the feet, what moves they get beat on, what's their good technique, what they do well. Uh, those like the basics, but what I really key in on is the moves they lose to, what they do well, how fast they can kick back, and tendencies.
Ruben, have you been in contact with your former teammate Wesley Basaint?
Lately, no, but when I seen him at school when he was getting ready to enroll at Miami, yes, we was talking.
No, we're definitely excited to see Wesley on campus and suit up for the University of Miami. Are you planning on going to any University of Miami games and seeing him maybe in his first college football game as a Miami Hurricane?
Definitely the first home game I'm gonna be there, so I'll be there to watch them and everybody that I played with or played against the last 2 to 3 years.
Ruben, what do you feel are some of the most important traits for a defensive end as a pass rusher? Not just physical, but technical.
Technical, hand, but before any technicality or anything like that, is just effort and want to get past the man that's in front of you. If you have effort, you'll win 90% of your rushes. Because if you actually look and break stuff down, 70 to 80% of rushes are won of second effort, second moves. It's rare that, like, the higher level you go, it's rare you win off the first move. So if you have great effort, I mean, you be one of the greats, one of the best.
Now, the same question, but for run stuffing as a defensive end, what are some of the key traits to have good containment on the outside?
Now that is, you have to be physical, because you can't be physical having a 6'7", 300-pound dude coming at you full force. You can't be light on your feet, light on your hands. So really just trying to stay low, pad level, then having that full extension, locking out your elbows, and driving your feet.
All right, we got 2 questions, Ruben, from viewers watching right now. First one asks, what is your favorite pass rush move?
Favorite pass rush move is a dip, like a speed dip. Then if that's not working, a stutter ball, Just because I say that because those two pass rush moves, they counter off each other. If the speed's not working, then you can use your power for the stutter bull. But then if the offensive lineman's like setting back and putting his weight down for the stutter bull, that's when you use speed there.
The second person asks, what was it like playing with Wesley Bissainthe? If you can give some Miami Hurricanes fans a little insight what they're going to see at the University of Miami of Wesley.
Playing with Wesley, I always knew I was safe on the back end. Anything behind me. Great captain. I always calling out the plays, making sure everybody knew what they was. Know it's their job for each plays. He knew the D line's responsibilities, linebackers and DBs. So just knowing when Wesley's on the field, you got a smart player, but he also is going to come down here and make plays just like any other linebacker in the country. So just whenever you got Wesley on the field, just know you're safe.
Well, we love to hear that. We're expecting big things from Wesley and yourself this upcoming season, Ruben. I know me and Ross, we view you very highly as an individual, and we believe you have a very bright future, whether on the football field or just in any career path you choose. So we're excited to see your career take off.
Thank y'all.
Hey, Ruben, curious, has there been any big games scheduled for you guys your senior season so far?
I heard a rumor about Duncanville, but other than that, but if he do play Duncanville, I'm looking forward to that more than anything.
I'll tell you what, man. One thing about Duncanville is they turn out some mean offensive lines, dude. So I would love to see that battle, bro. I really would love to see that battle.
Them, Bowie. I think it's a school in Texas called Bowie, and Allen. Those are 3 Texas schools I always wanted to play.
Have you ever looked into Allen, Texas's stadium, that high school stadium they got there? It's like a couple $1 million or whatever.
And it was huge.
It's
really,
crazy.
Texas football is just different. That's the only competitive like I see with football besides Florida, because like the stadiums is huge, and every state game is played in the NFL stadium. So if I was jealous of a state, I always say Texas because their football is another level.
Man, I hope you get that shot to go against Duncanville, man, because that would be that's nationwide, bro. The whole nation watches a battle like that.
Yes, sir.
So I got one last question for you, Ruben. Why do you love the game of football? Where do you get the passion to go out and compete at the highest level on a week-by-week basis?
Really, it's always like football can give me a new life. It can change my life. That's the first. And second, I just have fun doing it. It might sound crazy, but out and hit people, not get in trouble. I feel like and third, it's really what I grew up on. We play sports, mostly football. So I've been around football all my life, so it's kind of like I had no other choice but to love it because it's been in my face so long.
Well, it's a good thing that you're good at it then, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, thank you, Ruben, for giving us some time, man. We always like having you on the scoop. This is the 4th time we've had you on, man. So we appreciate it every single time. We really do.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me. And that's in the corner. Hit that record. So thank you. Mark Stemper. Thank
you. All right, Ruben. Thank you again, man. Have a great night.
I appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
All right, that was Reuben Bain Jr. He's definitely a name to look out for, class of 2023. I think he'll get that 5th star bump, to be honest, Ross.
How do you get 29 sacks and not get it, man? We're talking about a guy who's got a goal, of course. I mean, 50, of course, is swinging for the fences, but we're talking about a guy who is fully capable of getting 30 to 35 sacks, no problem, and maybe even freakishly pushing that 40 mark if things really start off for him well.
Ross, our next guest backstage, he is a freak. I mean, this guy's size is just, I can't even describe it. He's a big body football player. I'm excited to bring him on. This is the first encounter I've had with him. So why don't you introduce our next guest, Joshua Horton, to all the viewers watching?
Yeah, this is 2023 defensive lineman, defensive end, Joshua Horton from Langston Hughes High School in Georgia.
What's going on, Joshua?
What's up? What's up?
Doing well, man. Thank you so much for coming on the scoop. We greatly appreciate your time tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So Ross, tell all the viewers watching, man, about Joshua and what sticks out to you on film.
What amazed me is after I learned his height and weight, watching him on the end and watching him be so explosive on the end was awesome, dude. I mean, it's amazing to see some of the burst he has off of the snap. It really is, dude. It truly is.
Anything you want to add to that, Joshua?
Physicality. You beat the person in front of you, you win.
Definitely physical. Yes, I should have brought that up too. Loves to play physical and has no problem getting dirty when he needs to.
Joshua, to all the viewers watching, what offers do you hold right now?
Right now I have 30. Something like Georgia, Auburn, Georgia Tech, Arkansas, Miami, Florida State. It's a couple.
Just a couple big names. On the University of Miami's football staff, who have you been mainly in contact with?
I was talking to Coach B. Mac, but I think he at Georgia now.
Yeah, he's at the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
Joshua, what's your current height and weight right now?
I'm 6'5", and I'm trying to drop, but I'm up to 290 right now.
What do you want to work on this off season to take your game to the next level during your senior season? Where do you really want to improve?
Mainly like my pass rush moves, like getting better with my hands and things like that, and like just getting off the ball faster and overall speed.
Are you working with any specific trainers to help out?
Nah, not really. I just work out in my high school and I do some things on the side by myself.
Who are some of the high school coaches that have been helping you out?
My defensive line coach, Coach O, and Coach Arnold. And then we have our strength coach is Coach Williams.
So, Joshua, you grew up in Georgia, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was University of Miami ever a school you rooted for or watched on TV, or was it primarily maybe in-state schools or a school that's near Georgia?
I like the older.
I think he may have froze.
You can hear me now?
I think we lost him for a second.
Oh, it's better now.
Yeah, I never really watched Miami growing up, but I watched a lot of like documentaries on like.
Joshua, I see you playing defensive end in a lot of the film I watch. Is there an effort to keep you on the edge, or are you wanting to move on the inside during your senior season?
Wherever they need me at this point, because like initially, I felt like I wasn't strong enough to play inside, but at this point, I could play anywhere on the D line.
What experience do you have so far playing on the D line? What positions?
All of them. DN, D tackle, 3 tech, 1 tech, all of them.
I've noticed that on your film. For your size, you are very versatile, and keep that versatility going because it's a huge deal in colleges now, which I'm sure you're already aware of. But it's a huge deal.
Yes, sir.
What do you feel, Joshua? What do you feel is an important trait for a pass rusher on the edge? Not just physical, but technique. What do you feel is really important to master?
Footwork mainly, I feel like. Because like, if you got the footwork to do the moves, then most likely it's going to work. Or like simple things like getting far enough back off the ball to set your moves up and things like that. And get off. Get off is probably the main part.
Joshua, who are some defensive linemen that you look up to in the NFL or maybe played at the collegiate level that you watch a lot closely?
Myles Garrett, just because like I feel like he's the closest size match to me. I like Aaron Donald. I watch a lot of his trainings, things like that. In college, I like Aiden Hutchinson game, but he's more of a speed rush. I'm not really a speed. I wouldn't classify myself as a speed rusher. I'm more of a physical rusher. So I like to look for physical guys.
Being a physical player, you still have really great burst off the snap. What's some of the training you've done to help with that?
Just practicing. Like just going off the ball. Like we get one of my friends or one of my teammates to like their foot is the ball, just giving the cadence and not moving to the ball until they move their foot, things like that.
How are you enjoying this recruiting experience so far?
It's fun, but it can get overwhelming. But I haven't let it get to me for real, because like at the end of the day, it's a lot to kind of juggle as a teenager.
For sure. Is there any colleges that are getting a hold of you more often than the other schools are? You know, schools showing you a lot of love.
I think
DF, Colorado starting to get on me a lot more. Yeah, in Boston College.
We lost you there for just a sec. What was the first one you listed, Joshua?
Georgia Tech.
Oh, Georgia Tech. Okay, I got you. So what are some of the biggest factors for you when it comes time to pick a college? Is it relationships with coaches, NFL development, winning culture? What do you really prioritize?
Development, which is the NFL, and also like who has the best academics to where they could prepare me to be successful outside of the NFL.
No, I think those are fantastic factors you're implementing in your potential decision coming up next year. I got to ask Joshua, you're a pretty big guy, especially at your age. How much are you bench pressing and squatting?
Last time we maxed was in October. I benched 315 and squatted 455, I believe.
It's not bad, especially in October. So those numbers probably jumped now. You haven't
Yeah,
maxed out since.
yeah. I'm trying to get the squat up to 500, and bench is really mm, I can afford to lose on bench. I'd rather work on my legs than my arms.
Describe your game for us, Joshua. What kind of player are you?
Beat them up.
Simple. Simple.
Great
I mean,
example.
it's what his film shows, honestly. One-on-one battles, just destroying offensive linemen, even on double teams, too.
Mhm.
Joshua, we probably get, usually for our recruiting shows, it varies, but we'll probably get over 2K views at least. Grateful. We're grateful for it.
Mhm.
What can you tell the viewers watching right now or later when this is up and recorded about yourself that most people don't know about Joshua Horton?
You broke up a little bit.
What can you tell the viewers watching now or later about Joshua Horton that they will never know about?
I'm a really down to earth guy. Like I tend to stay to myself and like really observe the people around me more than like being outgoing and things like that.
Awesome.
And I like to work on myself.
Joshua, what's the ultimate goal then for Langston Hughes this next year? Is it title or bust?
Yeah, win. Go 1-0. If you go 1-0 every week, you're gonna get where you want to be.
You guys got any big games set up on your schedule so far?
Uh, we're in the Freedom Bowl. I don't really know like who we're playing yet, but we're in the Freedom Bowl that I know of, and I can't really remember any of the other ones. I had to go back and look.
Joshua, this is a question that I ask every recruit that comes on here, but why do you love the game of football? You know, where do you get that drive and that passion to go out there and compete at such a high level?
I feel like everyone has like a stimulant, and football is just my stimulant. Like let off stress, let off anger, because like in life you get hit with a lot of different things, and football you can let out all your anger and not be penalized, fined, go to jail, none of that.
I love that answer. I love it, man.
Well, Joshua, man, we're really excited to see your recruitment take off and how you do this upcoming senior season. We have a lot of high hopes, for your football career and where you're going to play at the next level. We think very highly of you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Roz, anything else for Joshua?
No, that's it for me, man. Just like Paul said, man, thank you for giving us some time here, man. We think you are a truly special player, and anybody who turns on the film will see the same thing, dude. I mean, you're gonna. I expect colleges to start hitting you up more and more and more, especially as your senior goes on. You're gonna show a lot of good film. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
Joshua, thank you so much for your time again, man. We greatly appreciate it. You're always welcome back on the scoop.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Take care. All right. That was Joshua Horton, defensive lineman. I mean, huge football player. He's going to be putting up numbers when he gets into college. Weight room wise.
I don't know how guys are gonna stop him if he keeps this burst, Paul. Like, I mean, it's a bull rush type thing, even with him. I mean, he can just beat you just off physical nature alone, and he's adding moves. So that just, I mean, the ceiling still hasn't been even close to hit yet, especially at his size. Like I said, one of the first things that really caught my attention was his burst. You don't see it that often from guys that size, and what it reminded me a little bit of was, even though they're a little different size, but like a Ahmad Moten kind of quickness off the burst, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that's a special trait to have.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, Georgia football, they were saying it earlier in the chat. It's no joke.
No, man. And he's playing at Langston Hughes, so he's playing against some really good competition. And being in the Liberty Bowl, that's an event that's going to have multiple good teams in it every year. So the fact that they're in that just shows the caliber of the high school he plays at on a year-to-year basis.
All right. Well, listen, we had over 110 viewers or more on this show. We greatly appreciate everyone tuning in. We plan on doing weekly or 2 recruiting shows as we get deeper in the class of 2023. Huge shout out. Credit goes to Ross for putting this together on a weekly basis. I hope you guys appreciate what he's doing on the recruiting scene, because it's very, very impressive.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. It's doing it remotely from a little island in Alaska, but trying to do the best I can so we bring on new content for you guys on a weekly basis.
You're the poster child of Zoom.
I really am. I need to talk to them about doing a commercial or something, dude. Seriously. I need to hit them up, man.
But yeah, I mean, we'll this week, the Brandon Merriweather show, we're trying to put together some special former players to come on. So just look out for that. And yeah, let's keep this thing going, man, as we get deeper in recruiting. If you guys can support us, hit subscribe and the like button. And I promise you, we're going to have some great guests on.
2023 and 2024 is going to start appearing more and more as time goes on, guys, because that's the next class going. And there's a lot of talent locally for that one as well. But 2023 is definitely the priority. And we all know how loaded that class is across the nation.
No, it's stacked, especially at wide receiver. Scary.
Oh, dude, the wide receiver class is sick, bro. Even locally, it's just sick.
Yeah. No, and we have the right staff. It's going to be, I'm telling you, I'm predicting a top 5 class no matter what. Top 5, top 10 should be our range.
Bringing a guy like Gaddis in the nature that we did it at, well, a lot of us fans were kind of wondering, well, who are we even going after now? Who's the OC target? And then to have Gaddis appear, I mean, dude, Cristobal he's the man, dude. He makes things happen. And like I've said before in our other shows, I'm going to trust that guy until he proves he can't be trusted.
100%. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.